welcome back. Let's talk about the ADC. They've been in the news for as long as you can remember, and the reasons are obvious. For those who are not familiar with what's going on, the ADC leadership, led by David Mark, that was handed over to on July the 29th in 2025, has now been de-recognized by INEC, given some plethora of issues around litigation. Someone else is laying claim to that seat, Nat'l Balagombe. So that is before the trial court. Now, this case, an interlocutory appeal went all the way to the appeal court. Well, Mr. David Mark lost, but the issue around status quo ante bellum is what has been the issue right now. What does it mean? Well, Senator David Mark says status quo ante bellum means I should be in charge because this suit was instituted September the 2nd. Well, Nat'l Balagombe said, no, I should be in charge because Raph Nwosu, the former national chairman, had actually resigned his position, so I should naturally inherit that position because I did not resign. They are saying he's resigned. Well, we're also trying to look out for when did he officially hand over or take over the position of national chairman, whether there was a NEC, if that NEC was monitored by INEC. But there are certain things that will leave to the trial court. We'll just speak to the issues of what emanated from the appellate court. So let's bring in the man who has been mentioned many times in this particular conversation, and his name will also be mentioned a couple of times in the courtroom. Raph Nwosu is the former national chairman of the African Democratic Congress, ADC. Chief Raph, thank you so much for coming on the program, Chief Nwosu.
Thank you very much. God bless you.
So with you, there are so many things to ask. But the natural place I would like to come from, I know I was listening to an interview you did some time ago, not too long ago. You said your tenure was meant to elapse, I think, sometime this year or next year, I can't remember, but that your tenure hasn't actually elapsed, but because the argument was to the effect that you resigned, your position was initially disputed, then you resigned, and then Raph, you say, is supposed to take over from you as a national chairman, that whatever happened on July the 29th, perhaps even though it was there, it was not party to it. But without going into the merit of the case as before the trial court, if you can help us understand your position as far as this issue is concerned, as you watch what's playing out, what's your interpretation of what's playing out?
Okay. First of all, I was watching your program before this one started, and I want to make something clear. One of the things I want to make clear is that the APC is not the model ADC, the current coalition want to take. APC model has turned out to be a disaster. So any a political analyst or a political scholar, a political science scholar who says, oh, the APC model is the right way to go, you have to look at it again, because APC is completely dilapidated. The CPC group, all the groups are not happy, and why their government has been plagued by almost everything that the Nigerian people today continue to complain about. Since 2015 to date is because of the model of opposition that they created and the kind of persons who populated it. So we are not taking that model, and we don't recommend that model for anybody. Now, coming to what is at stake now. I tell you this, we don't have factions in ADC, and people who are trying to, the factions that I see now, or the factions that the media, the APC, the INEC are trying to create and build upon to discredit the wonderful job that some patriots have done to build the ADC with a big vision. ADC has been a party that since 2006, when it was registered, has always said, this is a party for the future. and the future is now. If you recall, in 2018, the former president, Obasanjo, after due diligence, he collapsed his group called Coalition for Nigerian Movement, then led by Governor Oyinlola and Donald Duke. He collapsed the organization into ADC after he did all the due diligence. If you recall, in 2007, ADC presented Professor Patu Tommy as their first presidential candidate. So, however you say it, the persons who decided to come to take over come into ADC and try to do something for this country, they also did their due diligence. And if you check from the ADC DNA, the best party and the only party who can save this country and put it on a trajectory of the development that the world and our people expect of us is ADC. I want to say that. Now, we talk about Nafiu Bala as a faction. How can an individual be a faction? These are plots of the APC, the plots of, you see, what is playing out is this. I think the headquarters of Channel is in Lagos, and they know how the Lagos politics has played out. Since 2019, one individual seized Lagos, despite the vivacity of the city called Lagos. Despite how sophisticated the city appeared, one individual seized the politics of Lagos and continuously collapsed all the parties in Lagos to sing the APC song. When he became the president, he decided, he imagined in his head that he can do the same thing as far as Nigeria is concerned. And that is what we have, Nigerians are resisting. It's not about me, Raph Nwosu. It's not about ADC. But Nigerians are now, we have provided Nigerians and patriots a clear vehicle to be able to resist this monstrous force. That's what is going on. We didn't expect it to be easy. And I don't think that the media, anybody in this country expected it to be easy. Because they say, it's Jagaban. He's going to box his way through. If they offer you money, if it's not enough, they offer and offer and offer until they break you down. They cannot break us down. Having said that, the INEC interpretation is wrong, and the appeal court, what the appeal court did is wrong, and they're all inspired by the Jagaban of Nigerian politics. And now it's clear that the Amopito is an ADC, is an APC member, and the Jagaban of Nigeria seem to be have collapsed a lot of parties to become APC, and seem to have collapsed some agencies and judges to also be playing the card of APC. But we are going to resist it all the way. Now, we said for ADC, what APC, what the INEC has done is wrong. And that's why we decided to go there to tell them what you did is wrong. And we are calling to, this problem is not about ADC. It concerns all of us, Nigerians. We have a lot of Nigerian citizens are now awake to this problem. Let me tell you something. Within the last 2 days, people who are registering on ADC portal have become phenomenal. And ordinary market women, Nigerians in diaspora, and Nigerians everywhere are saying, come, Open your website.
All right, Mr. Nwosu, if for a moment, before my colleagues come in, if you allow me for a moment, Mr. Nwosu, before my colleagues come in. So, yes. I know you say it's a media creation, ACPC. You have a challenge. Your Congress was supposed to start today. They are not starting. So that's a challenge.
It has started. No, it has started.
It has started. Oh, fantastic.
We said we are not bowing to illegality of any agency.
So
we are going to be responsible to the Nigerian citizens.
So that's where I was.
All agencies.
That's where I was coming to.
All democratic agencies.
That's where I was coming to.
Agencies.
So 2 questions in one, so that my colleagues can jump in. First, if what I like to call tactical immobilizer, which is the style, perceived style of Bola Tinubu, the president, given what he has done in Lagos, and you have admitted that that is his style. So one would have expected that the opposition should have prepared for this style as much as possible. So where are we now? Are you saying that despite the court ruling by the Court of Appeal and those consequential orders and what INEC has said, you will nonetheless go on with your congresses all the way to the convention, no matter whose ox is God? What if when you finish at the trial court and you now force the fait accompli on this, and the fate of places like Plateau or Zamfara? How do you want to manage that? Because at the end of the day, it's going to look like you actually walked into the trap, quote and unquote, set by the APC, as alluded by your people.
We are taking the necessary action, both in court and with INEC, but at the same time, we will not allow INEC. We will not allow INEC to derail any of our programs. And that was why, after that INEC malicious release, David Mark, our chairman, and all of us sat together. We said we are moving ahead with our program because we submitted our program as according to law to INEC, and they endorsed it. All the dates they already endorsed. So, and by the electoral law, whether they come or not, that is their own volition. We have not violated anything. So the primaries, the congresses already started. Our national convention slated for 14th will also go on, where we validate everything we've done. Now, the other programs that we are going to run, that's where the courage of the people, because we actually don't want opportunists in ADC. We want people who are mission-driven leaders, people who are interested, people who have the courage to challenge bad system. They are going to come and run an election because by next week, we're going to write INEC for our coming national convention. That's the convention that will select our presidential candidates, and the primaries that will also select the candidates to run for election. When we write them and they don't accept, we will publish it to all media in Nigeria because they are representing the Nigerian people. That's democracy. All the institutions, whether it's the presidency, whether it's INEC, whether it's the court, belong to the people. So we will continue to do things transparently. If the Jagaban, if his intention is to bully people, they cannot bully us. We are prepared for this. We are prepared for this from the nature of persons that we have selected to lead in what we've decided to do. When we got David Mark to be the national chairman, we were very, very deliberate and so on. And he remained our national. The last time I spoke to the committee, I said, let everybody be prepared for a war because where we are going now is a war.
All right.
We have a well-bred war general leading the pack.
All right, Chief Nwosu. Yeah, pardon me if I may come in there. Your resolve is noted and, in fact, has been demonstrated by leaders of the party when they led a protest to the INEC headquarters yesterday and submitted their petition. But the fact still remains, and that is the worry of, I'd like to say, Democrats, across the country. The worry is that technically you know, the leadership is still unknown to law in the light of INEC's decision to de-recognize the party. So with your party going ahead with congresses, how will it all play out? How does it intend to navigate the issues within the court of law before the deadline for primaries as such that it can contest the elections? But I'd like us to take some walk back down memory lane to understand how we got here in the first place. Many have questioned the manner of takeover.
Professor Amapito did a wrong interpretation because he is playing a script.
You have said that.
We will not fall to that because at the appropriate time, the law will be interpreted in the courts and not by Amapito, who was put there to play that role. And by the time that law is interpreted, is cleared, you find out that all we are doing, we are in safe hand.
Okay.
We are going to prove it.
But the INEC chairman has warned that, you know, actions that may be taken prior to that time will render the court processes
is doing things that are illegal. For an umpire, it's wrong for an umpire to be saying the things he's saying.
All right.
It's wrong. He's not our consultant.
We'll find out.
He's not our consultant. It's wrong for him to be doing what he's doing. And I expect the media to call him out. It's wrong.
That's why we're having this conversation.
And then,
Chief Nwosu, pardon me if I may make...
to push that narrative. If it's wrong, you say, come, this man, you're wrong.
Well, time and again, you're accusing the media of pushing a wrong narrative or creating factions. But that is to the contrary. The media is, you know, performing its role as the watchdog and representing all sides to the story and, of course, being constructive in its engagement, as we're doing now. Let's take a walk backwards, as I said earlier, such that we can understand how we got here in the first place. Many have questioned the manner of takeover of the David Mark-led group of your party. Some have said, especially the Raph Nwosu, that it was a hijack, that you were paid, you know, to surrender the leadership to the David Mark-led group, that there were no congresses, and if there should have been any substantive leader following your resignation, in line with your constitution, that substantive leader should have come from the Southeast, not from the North, as we have seen. And so I'd like you to speak to that. And subsequently, when suits were initiated against the David Mark-led group, why did it take time for you to come out to begin to speak? Shouldn't you have challenged subsequently with a suit since you are a party in the matter?
Okay, thank you. What culminated to the ADC coalition started more than a year and a half ago, almost going to 2 years now. And everything was deliberated thoroughly. INEC was involved. All the different stakeholders were involved. And when I accused the media were also involved from... There's no program that we did, my dear, that channel. We didn't invite channel. We didn't do any program. There was no closed-door program. We're all transparently done. Channel there, I know that if you check your archives, you will see where we moved motions according to our constitution, and the motions were carried, authorizing everything that we did. Before we started the journey, in May, I think about May 2025, but sometime in May 2024, we called the first NEC meeting, and NEC involved almost 129 to 137 members. All the state chairmen, 36 plus Abuja 37, all the zonal executives. I think for each zone has about 11 member executive. 11 member executive, you multiply by 6, you have 66 member executive. Plus the 30-something, there were almost 100. Then plus 39 member NWC members. All of them were in attendance, and we moved. That we have been searching out using different avenues and stakeholders, statesmen of this country. that we'll be moving out, talking to different organizations. But before we proceed, we want to ask, are we ready to go into merger, into coalition, into alliances, to be able to grow our party from a struggling party to a major party that can form government at national level? We all moved and voted unanimously. Nobody said no. We voted that any of them were interested. And that was carried. That was May 2024. Some of the stakeholders of this other organization who were interested, they sent their representative and they saw what we did. After that, by December of the same year, we held another neck. And in that neck, we said there are things in our constitution that we must touch, because we gave the different organizations our constitution. They went to see. They saw that before you can be an officer in ADC, you have to be a member of ADC for 2 years. Before you can contest any election, whether to be a member of the executive or to contest election as governor ATC under ADC, you must be a member of ADC for 2 years. And they said, ADC, with this your constitution, we can't do business with you. Then, but in your constitution, we also saw that you can waive some of these things, but we don't want you to waive it indoors. We also saw in your constitution that the NEC can act as a national convention and make amendments in your constitution.
All right.
We all sat and decided on the second option, to have a NEC, and INEC, each time we hold the NEC, INEC is there, and the 120-something to 100-something executive of the party that constitutes will be there.
Right.
And we moved motions to make amendments in our constitution so that to allow people who can come in the same day to contest election to the party officers. And also, we amended the area that said that the officer must come from your zone, and so on. And so all of these things were done. INEC was there. Channel, you were there. All the other TV stations, all the papers, everybody was there.
All right,
our 100-something member executive were there. And so it's not something that Chief Nwosu, our national secretary, also did indoors.
So these are some of the things also that the court will be considering. We understand that these issues are before the court. But on a final note, as we wind down, so you had said before that you were offered money. You reiterated that on the program today. You were offered 3 ministerial slots. You said that last year. In a bid to find out if this is self-inflicted crisis or externally foisted, it's important to get the facts correctly. So you said that you were offered those slots as some sort of incentive to thwart this coalition. Who exactly offered you, so Nigerians can know where the source of this is? Who offered you those ministerial slots and those monies?
This is something that has been overflogged. Ask my good friend and brother, Bala, who offered him the things he's been enjoying today. Ask the governors who are abandoning their political parties. Ask the Plateau State governor, where people are being killed on a daily basis. Who offered him whatever for him to say he has abandoned the party to enter the party that has brought the country so low. Come, my dear friend, we all live in this country. You don't gaslight people with integrity because of wanting to play the same game that the so-called powers of the moment.
Well, Chief Nwosu, you've not answered my question. Who offered you those slots?
I have answered it 1,000 times.
Okay, who exactly did? Was it the president or someone in his cabinet or his advisor or a third party?
I know who sent you a text message to ask me this question. I know the person.
Chief Nwosu,
Stop that.
That is not true, and I must say that is not true. You do not have evidence. I can show you my phone. Nobody sent me a text message, and it's unfair. It's unfair for you to say that on national television without proof. So, Chief Nwosu, I will not take that. That is impugning on my integrity. I will not take that. Nobody sent me a text message, and I think it's very unfair for you to raise such allegations when you know that that is not true.
Okay.
But we have to anchor at this point. Thank you very much for your time. You have not answered the question. You've not provided proof. Who must come to equity must come with clean hands. And that's what we're trying to do here. Over to you.
Ms. Nwosu, do you mind apologizing for what you just did right now? You laid an allegation you can't prove. Just hold on. Just hold on, sir. Just hold on, sir, please. With the greatest sense of respect, sir.
Can I speak?
Yes, just hold on. At least let me hear. Just hear me out for a moment. Just hear me out for a moment.
Wait.
You need to apologize. Ms. Nwosu, hold on.
My apologies, but I know the persons who have been sending different kind of messages, even threatening messages to my person. But the truth of the matter is clear. I make this apology with deep sense of responsibility. I am a Nigerian who is interested for us to find a way forward, and for our polity and our democracy to go well.
All right.
I don't intend to insult, insinuate, or to tarnish any journalist's image. But at the same time, our country is challenged. Our country is challenged. Our democracy is challenged.
All right, Mr. Nwosu.
And if
all right, we're totally out of time, Mr. Nwosu.
They want to bring our democracy down, it will hurt everybody.
Mr. Nwosu, we are all here for democracy. We just don't...
apologies,
yes.
But what is happening will hurt everybody.
Well, this is noted. It is noted. Ms. Nwosu, your apology is accepted on behalf of my colleague, because I'm sure maybe he would appreciate that as well, or I don't know what action he would take. But it's not right for you to have come on national TV to make that statement. But your apology has been noted. Thank you, Raph Nwosu, the former national chairman of the ADC. Thank you for coming on the program.
God bless you.
When we talk on national television, we must be careful and take responsibility. And this should never happen again. And I hope whoever is coming here to say anything has now taken note. We'll take a break. We'll be back. Stay with us.